Riders, based on a true story. The Freedom Riders film encapsulates the transformative journey of a group of diverse inner-city students and their teacher, Mrs. Gruelle. Throughout the film, every main character embarks on a profound learning journey. Mrs. Gruelle, a white suburban born and bred teacher, was not liked by her students. I guess you can say she too was discriminated against. The time in which this was set was a time when gang violence and racial tensions were at an all-time high. It was amidst the Rodney King 1992 riots in Los Angeles, California. While Mrs. Gruelle initially faces resistance, the atmosphere changes when she discovers a student circulating a racist caricature of a classmate. She effectively conveyed that such imagery mirrored the propaganda tactics of the Nazis. These stereotypes and use of caricatures are a large part not only of how the extermination of the Jews began, but how it was allowed to continue without the outcry about the injustice. Upon realizing that only one student in her class had prior knowledge of the Holocaust, Mrs. Gruelle's perspective underwent a profound shift, prompting her to reorient the focus of her teaching entirely. This shift would invite students to keep journals where they would record their own personal experience, which would prove to be the catalyst that sparks unity and reduces the racial tensions that her students were facing. She helps students to realize how narrative storytelling could be both detrimental and freeing. And what made the most impact was that they had a visit from a Holocaust survivor, Mike Gaze, who happened to be the one that hid Anne Frank. Eva, a central figure in Freedom Riders, emerges as a poignant example of resilience and personal growth. Initially portrayed as a young woman filled with anger and bitterness due to the violence and discrimination she had faced in East Los Angeles, Ava's journey takes a transformative turn under the guidance of Mrs. Gruelle. Through her interactions with Mrs. Gruelle and her classmate, Ava learns to trust, to see beyond her own pain, and to recognize the humanity in others. Her story is a testament to the power of education and empathy in breaking the cycle of violence and hatred, and she ultimately becomes a beacon of hope for her peers and her community. Despite facing immense challenges, including violence, poverty, and racial tension, the students find strength in their shared stories and the support of their teacher. Their resilience is demonstrated as they confront their past traumas, engage in learning, and strive for a better future. Through their personal growth and academic achievements, the students exemplify the power of hope and resilience in overcoming adversity and creating positive change. Mrs. Gruelle's unwavering persistence and fierce advocacy for her students serve as a powerful example of the kind of teacher I aspire to be. Her dedication goes beyond the classroom as she actively seeks to understand her students' lives and challenges. She listens to their stories, validates their experiences, and provides them with the support and guidance they need to succeed. Mrs. Gruelle's approach is not just about teaching academic content. It's about instilling confidence, empathy, and a sense of social responsibility in her students. She shows that being a teacher is more than just a job. It's a calling to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. In my opinion, she's a hope dealer. Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best they can possibly be. Rita Pearson.